Today we are going to do figure drawing, learn about proportion, and make mistakes, which is okay. And then we're gonna fix mistakes and do it again. Have a little fun. See, my proportions are a little off, and that's okay. I'm not gonna scratch it out. This is just my sketchbook. Let's begin. Hello, my talented artists. If you love this content, subscribe! Open to a blank page in your sketchbook and get out a pencil. You will be using a pencil, a regular number 2, and I'm going to use something a little darker. I'm going to be using a colored pencil. So at the top of your page, you are going to write human figure. H-U. If you haven't already started, open up your sketchbook, find a blank page, and get your regular number 2 pencil out. We're going to begin with H-U-M-A-N, human. Now we're going to write figure. F-I-G-U-R-E. If you want to, you can underline it. And really what we're talking about today is something called proportion. In art, proportion refers to the relationship between the different sized components within one whole composition. Proportion can be used to make a composition appear more realistic or more stylized. So for instance, with chibi drawing, you might make the eyes really, really big. One of the main differences between this chibi style drawing of a little girl and the realistic drawing of a little girl is proportion. In the chibi drawing, the eyes and head are much larger than the hands or body. Today, we're going to be talking about the different parts of the human figure. For instance, how big is the head compared to the hand or the arm? And we are aiming for correct proportions. Proportions in visual art are very important when you're drawing the human figure to make it look realistic. We are going to be getting the basic proportions using ovals. So the first oval I want you to draw, we're going to draw a line of ovals. We're just going to draw a long, skinny oval. And when we're sketching, you can just go around and around, sort of get a nice shape going there. And now we're going to draw a little circle. Again, go around and around. Keep making your line. It kind of evens out your ovals or your circles. And now we're going to draw an egg shape oval. So it's pointier at the bottom and wider at the top here. So I'm kind of doing a sketchy line all around like that. And now I'm gonna try to something like that. Maybe it should be a little rounder at the top. This is a head shape. Okay, and another way to draw the head shape is to do a circle and do a little circle underneath and then do the outline of that. Okay, so those are 2 heads. And then we're gonna do an oval on the side, kind of a nice big oval. Like that. So that's the general shapes that we're going to be using. We are going to start in the gutter of our sketchbook And we are going to draw well, let's just start at the top here. We're just going to try to draw a circle right next to the gutter here. That's the goal. And what I want you to do is we are going to have 8 of these circles, and they should be all the same size. So if you are struggling with making it the same size, you can take your fingers like that and kind of move them down and make a little mark. And then roughly do your circle. You can try one freehand. If it doesn't turn out to be quite right, you can make it bigger, look like a little nest, because it has thick walls, but that's fine. So we'll just keep going. Uh-oh, I may not have started high enough. I think it's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, and then I don't know if I can write upside down. Let's see. 2, 3, 4. Do another one. Uh-oh, 5, 6, 7. Not enough room. I'll do one up here. So the moral of the story is make smaller circles. I'm going to do it again, but smaller. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if we break up the body into 8 parts, now these numbers are wrong. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to just start with the head, and we're going to draw a line across the paper from in between 1 and 2 of your little circles, and then we're going to draw a head shape, one of these head shapes. So it's narrow at the chin, at the bottom, and wider at the top. You go ahead and do your head. If you are a little bit ahead of everyone, you can do a bigger person here, bigger figure here. And we'll do another head. Okay, now we need a neck. So we're going to use a little circle underneath the head. And we're going to do a sideways oval for the torso, for the top of the torso. And depending on which way you have it slanted, it shows that the body's moving in different ways. So you can have it straight on if it's just a body that's straight on. You can experiment. Now we're going to do a bigger oval for the bottom of the torso. And you can actually do it. You can do a variety of ones. You can do another oval like that. Or you can do a sort of rounded, sort of another sort of head shape oval. It makes different shaped bodies. So once you get to the bottom of your torso, you should check and draw a line between 4 and 5. The bottom of your torso should be about 4. My smaller one looks a little bit off. We shall see what happens with that. Now we're going to be drawing the legs. So now I want you to draw another line across the page between 6 and 7. This is where the knee is going to go. So if you just want your legs kind of coming straight down, you can do that. Use a small circle for each knee. And then we're going to do this narrow oval from the bottom of the torso to the knee. Like that. And we are going to draw a line at the very bottom of that 8th circle. And we can have the calf part of the leg coming almost down to there. use another narrow oval for the calf. And then the foot. Now you don't have to have the foot always in profile like that. You could have the foot coming down like that, and that'll make it look like it's moving in different ways. We are missing the arms. So the tips of your fingers actually should hit about mid-thigh, which is between 5 and 6. But of course, if your arms are moving around, it might be different. So, and a lot of people say that the elbows are right around where your belly button is. So we can just draw little circles around that 4 line between. We're going to draw a little circle between 4 and 5 for the elbows. So we are going to, this is the shoulder, and we're going to do a skinny oval between the elbow and the shoulder. Okay. And now we're going to do a little shorter. I think my arms are too long. Yep. Well, I think I drew my arms a little too long, so that's all right. Now I just am going to sort of draw a line around my figure to connect these pieces. Did you see how I did the hand? So if you're doing the hand as a circle, add a little, what's that shape called, guys? Trapezoid? Trapezoid at the end. You can always add like a little line for a thumb if you want to. If you want, you can add lines like that. You can also just make a long oval for the hand and a little oval for like a mitten shape for the hand. Let's see how this looks. I'm going to make a little waist. Thighs. I'm going to go around sort of very close to the lines I've drawn, just to see how disproportionate the arms are, if they're too long or not. Yeah, I think my arms are a little bit too long. As you're working on any project, it's important to look at it, evaluate it, see where it needs a little help. If you have the same problem as me, you know what? You can get a colored pencil and redraw it correctly if you want to. Or you can just identify where you went wrong and then plan to do it right the next time. We're going to be drawing lots of figures. It does not have to be perfect, but our sketchbooks are for experimenting. Don't erase, don't cross out, just try again. Let's see if I can do this one a little better. I want you to try to finish this figure and then make another one over here. Definitely complete one figure, but you can also have 2. So I have my neck. I think this is a little more proportionate. My neck is small. Follow along if you'd like. And then I'm gonna do, this time I'm going to have my arm moving and bending. My hand's gonna go right off the page. Maybe he's waving. My hip was supposed to go there, so do a small hip, and then knees. Remember, knees go between 6 and 7. Now look what happens when I change the placement. So I'm making this at a diagonal. Let's see what happens. Of course, when you experiment, it's kind of interesting. See what happens. I'm going to have this knee bending. I think that's a little more proportionate. This foot is going off the page. I could draw on my sketchbook. It's a sketchbook. It's for fun. My feet probably aren't long enough. I think this one is a little more in proportion than this one. You can look at them and analyze them. Give yourself a little self-critique. So that's the general idea of drawing the human figure with realistic proportions. Now we're going to look at some photos of people in a little more active poses, and we are going to use the same method to draw them. Are you ready? Let's go. Okay, let's start with this pose. Pause to draw. You can choose one of these two poses. Let's all try this one. Pause for the sketching. Let's try this figure in silhouette. Now you can pick one of these three or two, or you can draw them all.